Let's take a look at this series and sequence question. We have a sequence of number u1, u2, u3, and we are also given the sum Sn. And the definition is given to be Sn equal to a minus 2 over n plus 1 factorial. And part 1 of this question wants us to find the value of a if given that the first term u1 is equal to 1. So it's given to us that u1 is equal to 1. And we can also conclude that since u1 is equal to 1, my s1 is also equal to 1. I mean, it makes sense. This is the first term. Sum of the first term is just the first term. So therefore, they have the same value. And we can sub n equal to 1 into this expression here. So we have a s1 equal to a minus 2 over 1 plus 1 factorial, which is just equal to 1. So we can simplify a bit. So this will just be a minus 1 equal to 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 factorial is just 2. 2 divided by 2 give me 1. So therefore, a equal to 2. Part 2 also wants us to show that the general term of this sequence is given by that expression. So we are going to make use of this formula here. Let me just write down at the side. So un actually is the same as a Sn minus Sn minus 1. For this formula, actually, it can be applied for any kind of series. Not only APGP, any kind of series can use this formula here. I mean, it makes a bit of sense because this Sn represents the sum of a total of n terms. Say it's like a u1 plus u2 plus u3 all the way until un. This is like my Sn. If I'm subtracting by Sn minus 1, Sn minus 1 is equal to u1, u2, u3, all the way until un minus 1. And this is Sn minus 1. So using the first equation minus the second one, we can see that all these terms will be cancelled away. All this will be cancelled away, except this is the leftover term, which is just the general term un of the sequence. So using this result, I can find out what is my un. So for this case, un will just be equal to Sn minus Sn minus 1. So I will have this, which is my Sn 2 minus 2 over n plus 1 factorial. Let me just put a bracket here to show the separation of the terms. And for Sn minus 1 is the same as 2 minus 2 over n factorial, because I'm just replacing the n here with n minus 1 to get my Sn minus 1. Right, let's open up the bracket, then we can simplify a bit. I will left with a 2 over n factorial minus 2 over n plus 1 factorial. So now we will try to simplify this, and since the final expression is just like a single fraction, I'm going to merge these two separate fractions together as one big fraction. By looking at the denominator, this is an n factorial, this is an n plus 1 factorial. In fact, this has more terms compared to this. It has actually one more term compared to this, and the additional term is actually n plus 1. So if we were to take a common denominator with an n plus 1 factorial, this one is like lack of an n plus 1 term. So I'm going to multiply the n plus 1 at the top, and this will be the same, which is just minus 2. So let's simplify this. I will end up with a 2n over n plus 1 factorial. But this is not really what I want to show yet, because you can see that the final result, it seems like there's no n at the numerator. Somehow it's being cancelled away, which I think I can do by expanding the denominator first, because n factorial, in fact, I can rewrite it as n plus 1 times n times n minus 1 factorial. This is equivalent. So by doing so, I can see that this n can be cancelled away. So therefore, I only left with a 2 over n plus 1. And this will be the expression that I need to show for my part 2. Let me just write down short. Let's continue with part 3 of this question. I rewrite the general term un which we obtained from our previous part here because we'll be using this result later. For part 3, we are asked to find a recurrence relation in the form of a un plus 1 equal to fn un. For this fn, it will be just a function or the equation comprising only in terms of n. For this part, maybe we can do a bit of consideration by doing un plus 1 over un. Right? Basic idea is actually obtained from here because if I were to divide this un plus 1 with un, I'll just have a function of fn. That's what I'm trying to do. So for un plus 1, we can just replace all the n we see with n plus 1 here. We will have an expression that is 2 over n plus 2 and n factorial. For the denominator, I'll just copy 2 over n plus 1 times with n minus 1 factorial. Let's simplify a bit. I will end up with n plus 1, n minus 1 factorial over n plus 2, n factorial. I think we can continue to simplify because this factorial can be reduced to a more simpler form because n factorial we can rewrite as n times n minus 1 factorial. So by doing so, you can see that the n minus 1 factorial can be cancelled away. So I will left with n plus 1 over n plus 2n. Right, so we are going to write one more step to express into the form which the question wants. So I will have un plus 1 equal to n plus 1 over n plus 2 un. So this will be the recurrence relation we need for part 3. For part 4, we are asked to explain why Sn converges as n tends to infinity. So we will know that when n tends to a very large value, this denominator is very large, so 2 divided by very large will actually become 0. So when n tends to infinity, Sn actually will tend to a value of 2. So we know it's a converging kind of sequence here. So we can write down something like this. As n tends to infinity, I'll be extracting out the term that is being affected by n. So you will just be 2 over n plus 1 factorial will tend to 0. All right, so therefore the series is convergent. Although the question did not really ask us to write down the converging value, but I think it's pretty easy to identify the value is just 2. Maybe I can just write it down. The convergent value is just 2. For part 5, we are asked to hence find the least value of m such that the sum of this infinite series given un plus 1 plus un plus 2 doesn't exceed 10 to the power minus 10. So for un plus 1 plus un plus 2 all the way until infinity, I think we probably might need to use the expression given here. This is my Sn expression, and this it looks like a sum of all the different terms for the un plus 1, un plus 2, and so on. So maybe we can just rewrite this as a summation form first. It will just be equal to r equal to m to infinity of my ur. So from here, actually, we can rewrite this into 2 different terms, which is the same as r equal to 1 to infinity of ur minus summation r equal to 1 to m minus 1 of ur. The reason why I want to write in this form is so that I can make use of this result, because this result can only start from 1. Like S1, this is the same as u1 plus u2 plus u3 and so on. So we want to change this to start from 1. And we can see that from changing from here to here, we have already added in an extra term from here to here. So the extra term is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way until m minus 1. So I need to deduct back away. So once we have this, we can rewrite this to be summation sum of the infinity, and this is sum to the n minus 1. And now we can rewrite this to using this result here. So this is just equal to 2. We have already concluded sum to infinity is equal to 2. And this will be just minus away, 2 minus 2 over. Replacing the n with m minus 1, I'll just left with m factorial. So we will just have a 2 over m factorial. And the question says that does not exceed 10 to the power of minus 10. So that means I want this result to be like lesser or equal to 10 to the power of minus 10. And we can make use of our GC to solve this. And specifically, we can use the table from the GC because what we are doing here is integer unknown. So using the table from the GC is definitely much faster. We can either key in the y1 with this equation, y2 with this equation, and do a comparison. But when we are looking at some like this type of numbers, maybe the value will be a bit messy and confusing. There's a trick that we can do. Instead of plotting two separate curve or table to do the comparison, instead we can just shift everything to the left like this. So we will have like a 2 over m factorial minus 10 to the power minus 10. So what we need, right, we just need to key in one equation. And we just generate a table, and from the table, the moment we see is negative or 0, that is the value of what I want. That is easier way to do a comparison. Okay, I have already keyed in this equation into the GC already. Let's take a look. So this is the equation. All right, so now next we are going to generate the table. So let's press second graph to trigger this table. Okay, I'm going to scroll down until I have a negative. Oh, okay. We have it here, 14. Because the moment the value is 14, it becomes negative, right? So for presentation's sake, right, we will always need to write down 3 rows. The value we want, the one before it, and the one after it. So it will be something like this. So the variable we are dealing here is m. So this is 2 over m factorial minus 10 to the power minus 10. So 14 is the one that I want. I want to write down the one before it and the one after it. So the one I want is like minus 8 times 10 to the power minus 11. The previous one is 2 times 10 to the power of minus 10. And the final one will be the 15 is minus 1 times 10 to the power minus 10. Right, so therefore, from GC, the least m will just be equal to 14. Right, so this will be the answer for the last part of this question.